Hey guys, it's me, Lord of Time 23, and I am here today with a speed build video. I know I've been doing a lot of my tutorial videos lately, but I figured let's switch it up a little bit. So today's speed build is actually for my Build With Me challenge, and if you have been following me on Instagram, you would see that in my story, you were able to actually help vote in what this house was going to look like or build in general. So I'm going to pop some of those up on the screen now. So you can see that I actually had people vote on what type of lot I'm going to be doing. So for the types of lot, I did a public lot or a residential lot. Everybody voted for residential lot this time. Last time it was public, so I was kind of happy to switch it up a little bit. So not only is it going to be a residential lot, it's going to be a home for a single sim, or a couple, I guess technically. It's going to have 2 floors. It's going to have an old style decor, and the color scheme is going to be neutral instead of colorful. So I figured what I was going to do is I would just do the external build now while I'm waiting for the votes for the interior build to come in. So let's get right to it and start building our home. So like I said, it is going to be a residential single sim home with 2 floors, old style decor, and neutral colors. So let's jump right into it and start building. Alrighty, so the only thing I'm going to warn you guys is this is the first time that I'm actually speaking over one of my speed build videos, so I hope the audio turns out okay and everything, but let's just start talking about the build. So I didn't really base this house off of anything in particular. I'm just kind of building freely here, seeing what we get. So you will see me kind of adjusting a few things, like those 2 side panel roofs that I put down first. I'm going to adjust those like 5 more times because you'll see right now that peak isn't lining up. So I do find a way to kind of maneuver it. Roofing is one of the probably most difficult things for me in this game, so that's why I try to get it done and over with as soon as possible whenever I'm building something. I just find that it, 1, can be very time consuming, and 2, just trying to fiddle with things to make things line up properly, I don't know, can be very frustrating. So I try to get that done and over with any build immediately, just so that I don't have to deal with it later, I guess. So bear with me while I'm kind of fiddling around with the roofs here. I know that one side roof there is not lining up currently, but I will fix it, I promise. I'm getting to it. I think I'm just trying to get all of the other roofs put down first, and then I'll have a better idea of how I'm doing things here. If you did watch some of my tutorial videos when I did my roofing one, I did explain to you guys that it is one of the most tedious things. It's gonna really annoy you, but as you can see, I did just fix it there. So it's all about just kind of fiddling with things until you get it right. But I'm happy with how the roof looks there, so I will leave it, I'm pretty sure, for the rest of the video. I'm not going to touch it anymore. So I'm raising the foundation a little bit. I am going to do kind of an interesting porch trick that you guys can definitely use in any of your builds. I just thought it was a really cute thing to do. I saw a picture of a house that has this type of front porch, and I absolutely loved it, and I thought it would fit in perfectly with this because I am doing the old style build. But you'll see I'm going to kind of fiddle around with a lot of different things until I get it quite right so that I like the look of things. So yeah, now we're adding the colors of the foundation, the walls. Like I said, with the voting, I am doing a neutral color base, so I kind of sticked with a lot of the browns and beiges. I didn't want anything to look too colorful, obviously, because I'm basing it off of what you guys voted. If you guys did by chance miss this Build With Me challenge too, because they're only on my stories for 24 hours at a time, just follow me on Instagram and I'll definitely be posting more. I find these really fun. I like kind of involving everybody else in what I'm going to be doing too, kind of bringing other people's visions to life, I guess you could say. Or if you guys have any other suggestions on how I could have done this house better, or maybe the vote should have been swayed the other way, you could see in the pictures what the other options were, like it was colorful instead, or it only had 1 floor instead of 2, or a family house. But I actually really like building single sim houses. I just think that they're, I don't know, easier to build, I guess. So you can see now I'm fiddling around with the front porch thing. I really love doing this, and later on, once I start doing more of the interior stuff and I kind of figure out what I want for the back and front yard too, I will probably add some plants and things on the top of that. If you do have the tool mod, I unfortunately don't. I don't really use any mods or CC, but if you do have the tool mod, you can actually make that a lot more interesting with that roof piece by, manipulating the plants to face different directions or on different angles to kind of sit on top of that porch awning, I guess you would call it, better. Here we go again. I'm switching the colors around. So I kept the same wallpaper. I'm just kind of switching it so it's more of a reddish wood, I guess you could say. So still neutral, still didn't add color into it. It's just, I find a lot of the woods in this game, they're really kind of difficult to match with each other, especially if you're using items from different packs or just different items in general. Like if you're not going to be getting the same item from whatever pack that you had gotten in a previous item, then the color swatches on them aren't exactly going to match as well as some of the ones that would, you know, go with this. So that's why I'm going with all of these Strangerville windows right now, just because I find that the color of the Strangerville windows actually matches that wood paneling a lot better. The first wood paneling I had on the building was kind of that washed out grayish wood, which I do use in a lot of my builds. I love that wood color for a lot of things just because it can match a lot of other things very well. But just for this particular build, I couldn't find any windows that actually matched the washed out gray wood color, so I just decided to switch it. That's why I switched the color swatch to begin with, just because quite frankly I just didn't want to deal with it. So now these windows look a lot better with that color swatch and with the porch. So yeah, thought it would be a good idea to add those on. So now adding the roofs. I love this cottage living roof palette so much. It can literally be used for anything. Like I know I'm kind of making this house look like a Windenburg house, which I believe is from the Get Together pack. All the houses in that world kind of have this paneling. That's where this wallpaper actually comes from. So this build would definitely fit into that world very well. However, after I was done building it, I did place it in the cottage living world, the Headford on Bagley, and I did place it in my Newcrest world too, just to see how it kind of looked with the surroundings. And it looks kind of nice anywhere that you go. Oh, saving the game just in case it crashes, since Sims is known to do that. But yeah, the build itself actually looks nice in a lot of the other worlds too, so you don't just have to keep it in Windenburg or even Henford on Bagley. You could put it in any world you want. I did build it on a 30 by 20 lot. I like building a lot of my builds on that size lot just because that size is in every world. It's definitely applicable to most worlds anyways that the house would fit into. And 30 by 20 is just, I don't know, I find the perfect amount of space for especially a single sim home. I know you know you can obviously build a family size house on this size lot too. I just find if I'm doing a family size house, I prefer to have more room, like wider. Whereas with a single sim house, like you don't need to make the house as wide, because at most you're gonna have 2 bedrooms in there. So I like this lot size, especially for single sim houses, but you definitely could do, you know, build a family size house on this size lot as well. So now I'm just kind of fiddling around with the chimneys, trying to find the right color that fits. And this is one of my favorite things to do with houses. I always set them back a decent amount just so that you actually have a front yard. I know a lot of other people like to put the house right up against where the lot is and kind of not leave a huge front yard, but at least where I live in Canada, we all have pretty decent sized backyards, or backyards and front yards actually. So I just wanted to make sure that, you know, you had a nice front yard that, say if she does have a kid in the future or something, your sim, then, you know, you can maneuver it, put some bikes out there, decorate it to make it look like a kid lives there a little bit more. Also, right now I am doing some of the landscaping, but I'm just kind of doing a quick version of it. I'm not going to get hardcore into landscaping until I kind of figure out what I'm going to do with the interior style as well. The only reason I'm waiting to do that is because I kind of try to make all of the decor, whether it be landscaping, inside, outside, so on and so forth, match. So let's say she has a very cluttered house with a lot of items in there. I would definitely probably make the landscape a little more cluttered, make it a little more busy, just so that it's filling up a lot of space. But let's say if I was doing a modern build, for an example, or if the interior ends up being voted to do modern instead of old style, then I would want to leave the outside kind of more cleaned up, a little more not as busy, just because that would match the interior a little bit better. So I'm not going to add a ton of landscaping now. I'm just doing some quick basics here, as you can see, obviously. So I'm just adding a few little things here and there. I really like using those little fern bushes. They're like right at the top of the list, and they're actually a base game item as well. But I always mix them in with other stuff. Like I never leave plants just by themselves. I always have to like combine them with 2 or 3 other plants. I don't know. I think it looks more realistic. Some people might prefer to just put like one plant there and leave it. And you're going to notice too, I am going to move this tree afterwards. The only reason I put it there now is just so I can get kind of an idea of what the landscape in the front's going to look like. So I will probably put that tree back there. You'll see I'll move it in the back for now just to kind of move it out of the way. But I definitely will put it back up front. I just think having like a nice tree in front of your house is more realistic and gives it kind of a homier vibe, especially since the outside is kind of supposed to look more home style or old style, not home style. So yeah, like I said, I'm just doing the basics. Here I actually am going to be adding the same type of awning on the front porch onto the back porch. I'm just going to do it a little bit different, whereas on the front porch it's more connecting to where the front door would be, not hanging over the front door. But on the back I'm going to do it where it's actually covering the whole back door. And then same thing, if you do have the tool mod, you're more than welcome to add some other plants and everything on top. I'm not going to add any plants on top quite yet, because once again I just want to see what the interior is going to be like. If it's supposed to look a little more cleaned up and modern, then I'll do the outside a little more cleaned up and modern as well. So a lot of this stuff I am just going to leave fiddling with the porch. Obviously I didn't like the size at first. A lot of this stuff I am just going to leave kind of blank for now, just because I don't want to overdo it if the inside's supposed to be modern. But yeah, for the most part, this is what my Build With Me challenge build is going to look like. So you can see I'm going to go around the house here, just so you guys can get a quick look at it. I am going to take out these interior extra walls right now, because when I do the interior build, I'm going to start fresh with a layout. I just need to know what type of rooms I'm going to need. If you did want to check that poll out, you can also check it out on my Instagram story. If by chance it's already done by the time you see this video, no worries. I will post up the results on my Instagram story as well for you guys to see. And if you want to give me a follow on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube, you will see when my next Build With Me challenge is. I am very, very close to 200 followers on my Instagram page. So as soon as I get to 200 followers on there, I am going to actually do a build challenge, like a room. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.